Hi everyone, this video is all about getting started with MSP430 Lunchbox programming. In this we will see how to set up the CCS, environment setup, programming MSP430, serial communication, Git setup, and how to use Git for our project development as a whole. There is a course on SWAYAM portal under NAPTEL on this hardware named Introduction to Embedded System Design by Professor D.V. Gadre as well as Professor Badri Subudhi. This course is highly recommended for the beginners who want to learn about embedded system design. In our video, we will see in short how to import the GitHub project and how to install CS340 driver, how to use BSL demo software, and how to integrate the CCS environment to use this BSL demo program. And what is the BSL demo program? We will also see that. There is a documentation for this hardware that is provided to you at lunchbox.singrid.com. Once you press this lunchbox.singrid.com, you will be redirected to a page that contains a detailed documentation around this. We will be frequently using this site for various configuration that is needed in the CCS IDE that we will explore in a while. The configuration needed for the pins and the pin descriptions. Everything is provided over here with the schematic and board file. A detailed manual is also provided over here with the code and explanation and hardware connection needed for that experiment. You can explore all those things at this link. More importantly, the resources for this course is available on Git, and the link for this course as well as for the GitHub repository, you will find it in the description. So here is the GitHub repository for this course. Let's explore the board that we are going to program in this video. As you can see on the left side, there is a red color board named MSP430 Lunchbox that we are going to program. On the right side, you can see the packaging in which you will receive this hardware. So on connecting the USB cable, you can see that this power LED will start glowing. By the time you will connect this hardware to your computer, you can go to your device manager to see if this device is recognized by your computer or not. This device is not recognized by the Windows 10 system as by default. It is showing some USB 2.0 serial. You will find all the requirements needed by this course in this repository. For the driver, you can navigate to this link, and by clicking on this, download button, you can download the driver onto your system, and by clicking this you can start the installation process. Click yes and press install. After 4-5 seconds, a window will appear to confirm that driver is installed. Something like this. Just press OK and close this. So now you have installed the driver for this hardware onto your computer. You can confirm this by going to your device manager. You can do so by right clicking on my computer, then manage, or you can use a shortcut. The shortcut is press Windows plus R and type dev mgmt.msc. On clicking this, you will see this port, and under this, earlier you were seeing some USB 2.0 serial driver not identified something. Now you are seeing USB serial CS340 COM port number 3. Now this comport number 3 is the number that we will use frequently while programming. So as of now, the number that is assigned to your hardware by this computer is comport number 3. It can be any other number on your system, it can be 5, 6 or any other number, but point over here is you have to go to the device manager and just check the comport that is being provided by the computer to your hardware. So on my system I will use comport number 3. Now we will be using this repository very frequently, so I want to have this whole repository on my system. So the way you can do so is either by downloading the zip file and extracting it to a folder, something like this. Over here you have all the files, or another way is to git clone this repository to your local system. To do so you need the repository link. You can find the link over here. Okay, just copy this, and now we will install the git software on your system. So to install that you can navigate to this git scm page and download an installer. It will download an installer file onto your system. Once done, we have to install this git package. Just follow the wizard of default options. Once done, you can go to your desktop and you will see, on right clicking your desktop, you will see this git bash here. When you will click on that, a bash terminal will appear. Over here you have to type command git clone and paste the link that we have copied from the GitHub repository. Okay, this is the link. On pressing the enter, it will git clone all the repository from the remote to your desktop. Here are all the files, and you can also see that the driver we have just downloaded directly, you can find it in this repository, and the installation process is the same. Now you have all the repository onto your system. Now we want to install the CCS ID that is provided by the Texas Instruments. To find the link, just go to Google and type TICCS. The first link will guide you to the official TI download link. Click on this. Then find the row where it is written CCS Studio. Click on Get Software. Over here you will find two different links to download the files. The major difference between these two is that on demand will download the files on the go, whereas single file will first download everything, then it will start installing. So we'll go with first link. This file is big, around 1 GB, so I have already downloaded this file for you over here. So I will just cancel this download, and here are the files. To install, you can just extract all the files over here. you will find a installer for this IDE. Just double click on this installer icon, accept this. Click on next. I accept. It is saying there is a pending reboot. Please reboot your machine before continuing. So there are some default check that is being done by this installer. You have to just reboot your system and just double click on this installer again to proceed to install. Okay, now this ID chosen a default path for you. I will proceed with this default path. In case you want to install it somewhere else, you can change the path. So now it is asking for two options. Either you want full install or you want custom install. Since I want the packages specifically for MSP 430, I will go for the custom install. If you have gone for full install, then you will have all these packages being installed in your system, but for this MSP 430 Lunchbox we need only this package. Okay, just after selecting this option, we will click on next. So I will fast forward this video until this installation is done. So once installation is done, it will ask you to reboot the system. You can click finish. And you can find the CCS icon over here. Just restart your system. After reboot, so it is asking for the path of workspace. By default it is choosing this. Okay, so there are two ways. Either you can navigate to this path for your workspace, this path, or you can start with this workspace and later on import this. Okay, so let's suppose I just want to use this. I will just copy this, paste, and press launch. Okay, these are some hidden or meta files that is being created by this CCS. That's fine. Allow access. So now you can see there are various projects and experiments that are performed on MSP 430 Lunchbox that is being displayed over here, but it is not listed over here. Okay, to do so, to import or to display it over here, you have to just import it, browse, this is the link. Okay, and it will show the various experiments or CCS project in the path. You will just select all and click finish. Now you have all the files that is displayed over here. Okay, now we will build a project, Hello Blink LED, project number 3. This program will just blink LED that is provided on the MSP 430 Lunchbox. We will just right click and build the project. All the requirements of Lunchbox MSP 430 hardware in terms of file format that is needed by the Lunchbox is set up over here. That's why we are using GitHub repository. If we have to start from the scratch, there are some additional steps that we need to perform, but right now I have just shown easiest way to get start with this process. All the projects, CCS projects in this repository are pre-configured for MSP 430 Lunchbox. Okay, so MSP 430 Lunchbox need this MSP 430.ti.txt format for the programming. Over here you will see the hex file in this format, ti.txt format. To program the hardware, you have to first confirm the COM port that is mentioned in the configuration. You have to go to this build, then steps to find the COM port number. Since I have already shown you the COM port number is 3 in our device manager, just press Windows R, type dev mgmt.msc and press enter. This number is same, so there is no need to change over here, but in case some other number has been shown over here, then you have to change the option to that number. Thereafter you have to just apply and close. Let's see this with the hardware. It's already blinking. Okay, I will just reduce the delay. Let's suppose I will just decrease a 0 over here, then again here, save it. I will just right click on this and press rebuild project. The green LED is showing that programming is going on, and you can see the blinking rate is very fast. Now let's slow it down by increasing the delay. Save, right click, rebuild. So you can see the programming is working. One thing to notice over here is the jumper pin over here are in programming mode. So as you can see on the screen that in programming mode your jumper position should be on the side 1. The side 2 is over here on the right side, and side 1 is over here on the left side. The arrow is indicating the side that is expected. There is another position for the jumper for the UART mode, that is like this. When you want the MSP 430 to communicate back to your computer, your PC, then in that scenario you want your jumper position like this. Now, understanding what is going on behind the scenes. So this project is pre-configured. Okay, these all projects are using a executable file named BSL demo 2. So the path for all these projects are mentioning this BSL demo 2 in post build step. So I will just create a project from the scratch to show you all the settings. By the way, all the settings are also mentioned over here. Uploading BSL uploading mechanism. Okay, so let's create a demo project. Code composer, next. So this is the target IC on the MSP 430 lunchbox. I will just create a project file with the name demo, and I will choose the latest compiler of TI. I will choose a Blink LED program. Thereafter I will just finish this. Okay, you can see a project is created for you with name blink.c. I will just close earlier program just to avoid some confusion. So this is the created project and this is the source code for blink.c. Now we want to set the configuration for this project to use BSL uploading mechanism, not PET mechanism that is being provided by this icon. We will not be using this icon to push our code from computer to our hardware. If we just compile this project, we will see that is compiling without any errors. Okay, but the output file is demo.out. Demo is the project name, so whatever project you will set, it will set that project name over here. Okay, now to enable the TI-TXT format that is required by the hardware, you will go to this project properties, click on hex utility, enable this MSP430 hex utility, go to output format option, select the TI-TXT format, the last option over here, and thereafter click apply and close. Now if you will build this project, it will also provide you TI-TXT format beside this demo.out. Okay, so now we will use this TI-TXT format output data to be pushed to the hardware. Now to push the data to the hardware, you need this BSL demo program. To use this program in our CCS project, we want to copy and paste these commands to our project post build step. By the name post build step, it is very clear on every build in the end these commands will be executed. So there is a relative path to this BSL demo program mentioned over here, and in the COM port number it is 9 that is mentioned. So we will change this to 3, and thereafter we will apply and close. Okay, so now if we will right click this and rebuild the project, so on every rebuild, this command that we mentioned in the post build step, that is being executed. Okay, and by this execution our program will be pushed to the hardware. On the right side we will see that no change is being detected, that because we have not used the LED pin over here to perform the blinking. We need to set LED pin to the output and perform some blinking operation. We will just copy paste the code from our experiment number 3. Okay, and again we will right click on this project and perform the rebuild project operation. So in the end it will again execute this program to push the TI-TXT format file to the hardware, and now our program is done, and you can see on the right side that LED is blinking as expected. You can confirm this by changing the delay rate. Let's suppose I will just change it to 3, let's say, and save this file. Again right click this and click rebuild. You can see that the delay, by changing the delay, we can see the blinking is slowed down. So to recap, we have made only 3 changes. Number 1, we enabled the hex utility. Number 2, we set TI-TXT format as output. and so we copy pasted it in the post build step to execute it in the last of our build command. We just changed this comport number as per our system. Other than that, these three steps are more than enough to configure any new TI Composer Studio project to use BSL method to push the TI.txt format hex file to the hardware. Okay, to recap the things to check while we are programming the lunchbox are: number one, check the programming jumpers on the lunchbox board. That is, these jumpers should have to be in the programming mode. Okay. Number two, comport in the post build steps should have to be as that of the comport mentioned in the device manager. Number three, press rebuild to push the code to the hardware. Okay. In case you are getting any error, check the device manager whether that hardware is being enumerated on the serial port or not. In short, there is a COM port number mentioned over here or not. If you are using the default repository, all the projects over here in this repository are pre-configured with these settings of hex utility as well as the output format. You can explore all this in detail in this course, and this course is totally free. Please visit this SWAYAM portal and use and get maximum out of this course. To support us, you can purchase this hardware from the link provided to you in the description. Thank you.